Hi, I'm Vanessa Spencer and welcome to another creative how-to video. Today our managing editor Jana Holstein is joining us and we are going to be making a scrapbook page and featuring the new Unibind binding system, which is a great new product that is available at the shop. So basically we're going to start by making the page. I have already pre-painted just some white just with my foam brush onto the page, and I did this beforehand because I wanted it to be dry so that when I bind my book it's not gonna get the inside of the book wet. And I have taken a picture of my daughter, and that's gonna be the picture for the page. And then the next step is just taking some recycled paper. These are scrap pieces of paper that I just got out of an old book that I got at the thrift store. Okay, did you tea dye them or anything? Or are they just, they're just old vintage
Yeah, they're
papers?
just kind of old vintage looking ones. But if you did have ones that were white and you wanted to tea dye them, you could, certainly. So I know that it's pretty popular amongst our artists. So we see that a lot.
It's a good way to use up leftover coffee too.
That's true. Very true. So, and it's a really cheap embellishment as well. You know, I know sometimes supplies can get expensive, and it's good to just kind of use what you have around you. So,
and since this is a baby book of sorts, you could even take nursery rhymes or fairy tales and use that for the text.
Yeah,
a little different interest.
If you found like an old children's book as well. I know at home I've got like some old like Sesame Street style books from the 70s, and I've been meaning to use them, so that'd be a great idea. Okay, so I just glue the newspaper down and then do the photo on top, and then we have these really cool rub-on tape runners by Daisy D's that give like a faux stitching look. So if you don't have a sewing machine at home or you're not a sewer, these are just a great way to give that effect, and they work really easily. You're just gonna glide on.
That is great.
Isn't it? Makes it so much easier. I mean, I like to sew and do stitching myself, but sometimes it's just kind of nice to do it this way, and it's really, really fun. So that's I use a zigzag one, and then I'm also just going to do a little bit with another style that we have. It's kind of more like a straight, like a little bit of a curved stitch. So, and maybe just a little bit in the corners as well. You can just kind of put pieces randomly wherever. So that's that. And then I have just taken crayons from my daughter's bedroom at home, and I'm just going to do some really simple doodles just around the corners, just to give it a little bit of color, just in black and red. And then it also, sometimes when there's flowers on the page, it's just kind of nice to color them in yourself. But you know, you don't have to be neat. It's fun to be messy sometimes and kind of give it that artsy look. So, okay. So that is my finished scrapbook page. So every page that I made for this album, it kind of has the same coordinating theme. And that is because we have a new book at the shop called the Scrapbookers Creativity Kit, which is by Claudine Hellmuth.
Oh, she is awesome.
She is. She's one of my favorite artists. And the whole purpose of the book is it's kind of to jumpstart your creativity. So inside the little kit, there are 2 card decks. And one is color and one is your inspiration theme. And before I made my pages, I pulled out a red and I pulled out the little, which is why I did my daughter, did the baby pictures, and then kind of had the red color consistent throughout the album. Oh,
that's a neat way to get your, like you said, jumpstart your creativity.
Exactly.
And if you're kind of in a holding pattern, get that muse going.
Do something a little bit different, yeah. So now I'm just going to line all my pages up. I've already kind of pre-assembled them, so I know that they're in the order that I want them to, but that's very important before you go to put them inside the book to make sure that they are all in the correct format. Okay. And we're using the 8x10 album cover. And this one, the one with the window, is actually, you get a free black album inside the box with the binding machine when you buy the machine at the shop, which is great. So then you're just going to slide it in. Now inside the bind, there's like a line of resin, so you don't have to put any glue, you don't have to put anything in there. It's just going to it's already there,
Wow.
and it'll just do it for you.
Talk about easy.
Yes, this one is super, super simple. Okay. Now, the machine's already turned on. There's no on or off button. You just plug it in, and then as soon as you plug it in, this is magnetic.
Do you have to let it heat up a bit?
No, it does it for you. The red light will come on, but it's magnetic, and it sits there for about 90 seconds, and after 90 seconds, a green light will come on, and then that's how you know it's done, and then it will cool down for 2 minutes.
So you just
I just
slip
switched
in
it on
there.
now. The red light's on, 90 seconds, and then when the green light comes on, leave it for 2 minutes to cool down, and it's done.
Oh my gosh! So it doesn't compress it or anything. It
will just
makes
sit
it
there.
melt inside there.
Yeah, it will just, there's like the little resin glue that's inside the bind will just kind of attach to the pages, and it will do it for you. So,
oh my gosh!
and it's really good quality. Unibind, you know, are professional binding system makers, so it's a great machine and very, very easy to use.
Wow,
So.
I'm envisioning all kinds of applications for it.
Yeah, well, I think not only Scrapbookers, but I think even digital Scrapbookers could use it, you know, just printing out your
Absolutely.
pages at home and doing it that way, or just even printing out your photos, like an 8x10 photo or an 8x8, which is one of the other sizes we sell, or even art journalists, you know, if they're, you know, if you like to create your pages first and then bind them, that's a great system to use as well. So. And then also, you know, you could, if you're an artist or you're wanting to make a portfolio, you could create your portfolio using that. Or another idea I had was, I have a 3.5-year-old daughter, so I could just take all her artwork pages and put them inside the book and just create a, you know, an album for her as a little keepsake for when she's older. And keep all
That's a
her
great idea.
artwork in one place.
I
So-
have my children who are in their 20s. I have their, you know, the pictures they make when they're little.
Yep.
In a box, stuck in a closet, and so I could take them out and cut them to size if I need to, and put them in there, and then each child would have a keepsake.
Exactly.
And I probably
Keep
have
it
enough.
nice
I
and
could make
organized.
one for myself too.
So it's a lot of fun, and you can alter the cover as well. I mean, you don't have to, but for this particular project, I thought it would be fun to do that. And at first I was a little bit concerned about the material on the cover, but after playing around, it seems to have worked fine. I've used about 4 different paint colors. I did a lot of paint layering. I used crackle paint. And some embellishments, and then over the top of that I even used a sealing kind of decoupage glue, and that didn't do anything to the cover. It's still in perfect condition.
Great.
So it's fine. The green light's on now, which means the gluing part is done. It's now just cooling down, so that should just be a little bit longer.
That's fast.
Yeah, it is really fast. Yeah. And then, you know, the other nice thing about this project and the Claudine Hellmuth book was that I really just wanted to show people that, you know, if you're scrapbooking baby pictures, you don't have to use traditional baby papers and colors and embellishments. Like, we here at Stampington really encourage our artists to break outside of the box and kind of do something a little different. So it's fun to try using different color palettes, and this book will definitely encourage you to use that.
Right.
So,
Yeah. One of the things we look for in submissions with Somerset Memories are, of course, fabulous artistic and different pages. And wow,
Just
you know, the papers
non-traditional.
nowadays, yeah, absolutely. They don't have to be the cutesy little, you know, daisies and, you know, typical little girl things.
Right.
You
You can do something different, and it will still look, you know, really, really lovely. So, very good. Well, I think it's cooled down now. It's been almost 2 minutes, so I'm just going to take it out.
It almost seems too easy.
I know. So there's the finished book. You can feel it, and it's still a little bit hot, so that will take a little bit longer to cool down.
Right.
So you just want to let it sit for a while. And you could do this landscape or, you know, either way, portrait, whatever style you want.
I am
Can you open it
envisioning
up?
a wedding album now.
Yes,
My
your
daughter's
daughter
getting married, yeah, and
yeah.
it'll all the digital pictures. You know, we could print them out, bind them, and
Absolutely. Yeah, make a great, really classy looking wedding album. So yeah, all the pages are bound and your book is ready to go. So this will make a great keepsake or a gift. So, and it is done.
it's beautiful.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, I think that concludes our creative how-to project for this week. Thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And we will see you again soon.